Hello friends, my name is Brendan Rowland, also go by MTG Baron, and I'm here to talk to you guys a little bit about preparing and having fun at your Wilds of Eldraine pre-release or release events. I'm also going to take you through kind of how my day went as well. Alright, starting off with preparing for your event. I suggest to check out the streamer event the day or two before your pre-releases because it has a lot of really awesome, amazing content creators that are streaming Wilds of Eldraine early or any of the oncoming sets early on Arena for you to kind of scope out the cards, get a feel for how everyone's enjoying the set, what cards work well together. It's just a really good time, and you get to interact with the streamers too, and they're excited to see you there supporting them as well. I also recommend getting a little packing list. So for me, I have my playmat. I keep a big dice bag with me just to share and to use for my games. I also packed a deck box dedicated to the draft. It has sleeves in there, and I had access to some of the tokens beforehand, so I sleeved up some tokens to share and to use. And also, if you want to carry more sleeves to maybe share to somebody who doesn't have sleeves at the event, that could be a nice like meet and greet moment with someone else. And then lastly, the day of, I recommend just double checking all your stuff inside your backpack, eating a nice healthy light meal beforehand because it's going to be a long night. Mine started at 7 and I didn't get out until 11. So 4 hours of playing Magic can get pretty taxing. Now at the event it depends on your LGS, but my price of was $35. In each of the pre-release kits, it came with 6 sealed draft booster packs with 15 cards in them apiece. That's meant to build your deck for the day. It also comes out with this really cool dice, and it comes with a promo that you can use in your sealed pool. Here are a couple tips that I have when building your deck for your sealed event. I highly recommend prioritizing sorting out your colors on your playmat and seeing which colors have the most or the best removal in your packs that you opened. This removal is pretty key in the sealed events because the sealed events kind of focus on having bomb rares and just really impactful cards to win the game. Second thing I look out for is any cards that help you fix or ramp your mana. The reason being is because it will help push you into that higher CMC bomb rares and bomb mythic territories, but also will help if you decide to go 3 colors, and which is very, very doable in a sealed pool, just because you don't get to handpick your best of the 2 colors or 1 color that you do in a draft normally. Sometimes you're forced into 3 colors just to have enough playable cards. Finally, how I look at building my sealed deck at these events. So what I do is I kind of lay out, when I finally pick what colors my deck's going to be, I lay out all the cards in front of me. I separate out all the cards I would not like to use off to the side and then count out what I do have. I usually try to aim for about 8 non-creature spells, 17 lands, and the rest to be creatures. Creatures usually are the main force in Limited to help you win the game. Sometimes there are spells that can help you do damage or combos to help you win, but more often than not, you're going to be trying to get advantage with creatures on the board to push in for that win. When I look at my builds, I always look at my mana curve, which is what the CMC of the average card is in the deck and how many lands or what type of lands I have based on that curve. So for example, on my deck list, you can see that I have a lot of 3-drops, and it wasn't really intentional. I kind of wished I had a little bit more 2-drops, but because this set is very, very fast, and you'll see that I did lose to one deck that had a lot more faster cards in it. But that's just what happens when you decide to go for a more middle of the curve. You want to have like a nice looking either exactly shaped pyramid or maybe a little bit leaning to the lower mana cost side of a triangle when you lay out your cards like this. I also like to look after I get a good decent curve on what's going to actually win me the game. Now I looked at this and I was like, well, I can control enough until my flyers can win. And then I looked at this Century card. It's pretty nice. It's, it has the vigilance, so it has the board presence to protect itself, but it also has the pushing power to tap down your opponent's creatures and just swing every turn for 4 damage. Pretty hard to deal with and pretty taxing on your opponent to use the removal spells that are in this set to kill it. So that's kind of the strategy I went with my deck, and it worked out pretty well, especially with the amount of draw that I had. You might want to look at other things in this set that involve, playing creatures almost every turn. That did really, really, really well against me in my second round. Also, there's plenty of archetypes that each set comes out with whenever they make a new set. For example, the archetype I went with was Fairy Typal, but I didn't have a whole lot of fairy synergistic cards, so it just happened to have fairies in it. Whereas one of my opponents had Graveyard Recursion in green-black, and they did very, very well because they always had a creature on the board. And last but not least, remember this event is for fun. There's not a real prize pool to it per se. My event has 2 packs to everybody who stays for 3 rounds, a promo per round, and I got this really cool Lotus Petal for just being there as one of my promos, and I really, really like this card. I really wanted to pick it up, and now I got it just because I went to the pre-release event. Take the time to meet your opponents too. This is like a little bit of a social scramble. I know not everybody likes to go out in public and play paper Magic. I know I really do love me some good old Arena, but in these events right here, you got a little bit of one-on-one time with your opponents. You might as well meet them. You might make a new friend. You might have someone else you can play in your commander pods, for example. And it's just a good way to connect with the community and dig some roots in. And last but not least, it does help you just learn the set a little bit more. You get to share some knowledge and hear what other people like and don't like about the set. And you also get to just enjoy the artwork, enjoy the creatures and their weird interactions that you don't normally see in a constructed deck or a commander deck or anything like that. But at the end of the day, it just helps you learn the set and learn a little bit more about what's going on in the story at the time. I found it was fun to talk to people about like fairy tales and different types of the art stylings that they had in each of the cards and what their favorites were. But I kind of walked away from the event with just a nice, refreshed, social experience with a lot of very kind people. It was very accepting, my LGS was, with the people that were at this event because it's so casual. It's not, nobody's worried about losing their chance at their regional qualifier or losing their, $100 prize winning or anything like that. Everyone's just there to just try out their deck and to have fun and to see their friends from their local area. If this video helped you in any way, please leave a like and a comment down below on what your favorite Eldraine card is in this set or what did really well with your pre-release. I really appreciate the free support. It helps me out a lot and helps me know that you guys care about this content that I create. Thank you, Magic the Gathering, for these opportunities. And please check out my link in my bio for the Wilds of Eldraine pre-order bit.ly. Any interaction with that helps Wizards know that you guys are checking out my content, and I really appreciate any support you guys can give. Thank you guys all for tuning in, and I'll see you in the next episode.